Okay, everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. What a day, and we have a lot to talk about. So, post-market wrap-up on this Thursday, October 13, 2022. People, a miracle happened today. A miracle. And we're going to talk about that miracle. Pretty incredible. I think you already know what I am talking about, but I want to cover that. Before we get there, let's set the stage. I love setting the stage here as to what's happening and why things are what they are. Nothing makes this guy happier, honestly, than digging in deep and looking at how things work, why they function, what's driving it. Okay, so let's start off with this morning. So we got this abysmal inflation report, basically saying that what the Federal Reserve and other central banks have been doing, raising rates for many months now, is completely, totally, and absolutely ineffective. You know, and I know, it was never meant to work. We discussed it right here on this blog on day one when the Fed started saying, hey, you know what, we're going to raise rates. It's going to make a difference. Inflation is going to come down. We laughed about it. You and I, we had a little chuckle. We frolicked around the office, and we knew it wouldn't do a damn thing, and it hasn't. Now, with that said, we got this report this morning that proves that you and I have been 100% spot on, dead on correct, that the action of central banks, wasn't going to do anything. Well, it hasn't. On the back of that, stock futures went from being positive to very, very deeply red. All of a sudden, we get knee-jerk higher in the dollar. The U.S. 10-year yield was over 4%, 4.04% or 4.4% higher. Okay, market started out in the red. Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 549 points at one time. Well, that all turned around. Not only did we erase those losses, well, we put on about almost 900 points with regard to the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It was like a simultaneous tsunami of buying. But, okay, did you see what happened to the dollar? The dollar reversed and dropped big time. 10-year yield came down about 10 basis points. That's what drove the market here. And I wonder who's doing it. Let me think. I can't imagine. Yeah, I think we all know who's responsible for this. Believe me, that's exactly what's... And as a matter of fact, if you were to turn on and flip through today as this was going on, the major financial channels, Fox Business, CNBC, Bloomberg, they had no clue as to what was going on, nor did they mention at all the reversal in the dollar, nor the drop in 10-year yields here. This is central banks, the Federal Reserve. You want to see the plunge protection team, in action? The plunge protection team is real. If you do not believe that, look it up. Put it into your own search engine. The plunge protection team exists to maintain stability in the market. That's it. That's the truth. So it's a real thing. It's not just some fantasy or some conspiracy theory. It's actually real. And as we all know, the Federal Reserve does, in fact, have a trading desk at the New York Fed. You don't believe that? Look it up for yourself as well. So today's miraculous turnaround, every sector of the market higher. Well, of course, it's the Federal Reserve, period, the end. There's just no other alternative. There's no other reason. I mean, you could go, oh, well, the market was technically, oversold and we're due for a balance and blah. No, absolutely not. And, all of you seem to get it here. So anyway, going back to the story, all day long, same narratives. Because of this abysmal report on inflation, central banks are going to continue to raise rates because they're really serious. This time they're serious, and they're going to continue to do the same thing over and over and over again before a public that has no clue as to what's going on, and they're expecting a different outcome. The only outcome is one: crushing the economy and bringing everyone down with it. How many of you even know that right now the reserve requirements for banks, the cash reserve requirements for banks is zero. Yeah, so banks do not have to keep a single dollar in reserve. Now, you know this. I've been beating this like to death as of late. If the Fed really wanted to control inflation and not destroy the economy, all they would do is order the banks to now hold cash in reserves, whatever amount, and that would contract the money supply, and overnight inflation would disappear. You know, it's kind of interesting. I flipped through the channels. I'm watching CNBC, and Sarah Eisen was conversing with somebody, whoever the hell they floated out, and she actually brought up, well, hold on a minute, the Fed has been raising rates, and it's just not working. Hats off to you, Sarah Eisen, for bringing that up. And I see you caught your guest completely by surprise. She was dumbfounded. How do I answer that question? Wait, no one told me about that one. Come on. All right, you gotta be kidding me. But anyway, so with that aside here, obviously, what happened today, this is not the average guy, the average girl, or even institutions here. This is the central banks here stepping in, buying the market, massive dollar reversal, big reversal in the 10-year yield, and that is what drove stocks higher, nothing else. Will it last? Look, we'll see here. I know a lot of shorts got crushed today. Friends of mine who were short the market are like not happy right now. Anyway, let us move forward here. Gold and silver did fall under some pressure here. Bitcoin still around 19,000. Crude oil took a hit. Now, I want to cover a few things with you. Very, very important. So Janet Yellen, you know, the creature, which I cannot define what it is. I'm not picking on some decrepit old lady here, okay? She's gone beyond a decrepit old lady. She's some kind of other thing. I can't define it. Please, you define it. Over the last several weeks, Janet Yellen has been paraded out on the financial channels here saying that she doesn't see an issue with the financial system. The financial system is fine, functioning, doing well. She did a complete 180 today, and I want you to pay attention to some of the wording here. So, as I said, Janet Yellen has made it very plain and simple. A financial system is functioning normally. But now she says there is concern about adequate liquidity in the debt market. Now, she goes on to say this. Listen to the wording. This is a quote. We are worried about adequate liquidity in the market. Who is we is what I want to know. All right. She goes from saying everything's fine, there's no problems, just like Fed President Waller. You remember that freak? Oh, there's no problem here. Debt market is absolutely liquid. So now Janet Yellen doing a 180 saying there's a problem here. And it's not just Greg Mannarino. It's not just you. It's not just the IMF. It's not just the World Bank. It's not major institutions who are all saying there's a problem here in the debt market. Now it's Janet Yellen too. That to me is interesting. Why now, in your opinion, why now did the yet-to-be-defined decrepit thing, who resembles an older woman, I guess, in some kind of way, why did she all of a sudden change her tune? Why do you think it's because she can say, oh, I told you, I told everyone, I told everybody that there was a problem in the debt market, even though I said everything was fine, but now there's a problem and we see it. Who's we, Janet? Who's we? Why don't you enlighten us all, okay? And anyway, now, let us move on here. As you all know, we go from crisis to crisis to crisis. Now, we all understand that Mummy man, you want me to do it? Mummy man. I'm talking about Bidenstein, you know, Frankenstein, okay? We all understand he flung out his little thing over there about nuclear Armageddon. Now he's backing that up here. He's warning of an increasing nuclear threat from Russia and China. And of course, this is going to lead to probably a nuclear arms race, a new one, and a lot more spending, which is what of course needs to happen. Okay, it must happen. That man and every other freaking president before him, okay, every one of them, must conjure up reasons to continue to pull cash into the now, whether it's development of warp speed vaccines or whatever it might be. They have to do it. Okay, so now we have this nuclear crisis here, much more spending, billions, trillions more. And he's also saying here, he's looking for many more billions of dollars to fund the war in Ukraine that you nor I voted for. All the mechanism, people, to pull cash into the now. This is why the money supply is going to continue to balloon here. Again, no capital requirements, reserve requirements for the banks. Zero. Okay. The Federal Reserve and other central banks hell-bent on destroying the economy, pressuring the middle class into submission, literally eliminating them. Okay. And it's, look, where's the outcry? Nowhere. They're boiling frogs. They're sitting there boiling, waiting to die. And they're allowing themselves to die. Period. They have no clue as to what's happening to them. And central banks are doing this deliberately bringing the economy to its knees, fulfilling their end game to become the lenders and buyers of last resort, the controlling body of the world. The rest of it is the theater. Okay, all of them. They're all fed a script. They're told what to say. They're told what to do. You understand? I think you got that. So anyway, that's kind of where we stand today. Today actually might have been history. We might have made history today with this unbelievable turnaround in the market. Anyway, just by looking at that 10-year yield and the dollar, just that reversal like that, it was pretty impressive to me. I was out there in my chat room on my website, traderschoice.net. I'm like, what's going on? I even posted something in my free newsletter. Link in the description of this video. I hope you're a subscriber to that. 100% free. Anyway, I want to hear from you. All the stuff we discussed here, okay? Where's your head at? What do you think about this stuff? Let me know. I'm very curious. I promise to read the comments. This guy loves you a lot, and I mean that. We're going to stick together through all this as we always do. We're going to get through everything together as we always do. And we're freaking unstoppable. This thing that we have, this is not just my thing. This is our thing. It's getting pretty damn big, and I'm damn proud of it. I'm damn proud of you for being here. All right. I'll see all of you tomorrow morning. That's all.